fellow YouTubers. I just got back from the No Kings rally a couple days ago, and I have to say I was sitting there, and a bunch of people came up behind me, and one of them had a megaphone, and they're like, "God bless Donald Trump, God bless," and I was just like, "Oh shit!" Here are the fascists. And so I was like, "Hey, you got the fascists right here," and one of them was like, "Define fascism." And so I said, "Well, it's a political movement that revolves around giving all your allegiance to one guy and blames immigrants and minorities, delegitimizes the free press, and uh, yeah, that's about it." And he just kept saying, "No, define fashion." And there's no arguing with these people. It's like arguing with a little kid. You say, "You're being grumpy, you're being cranky," and they're like, "No, you're being grumpy, you're being cranky," and it's like, how am I being cranky? How am I being fascist? How am I? It's like they don't understand the terms. They don't understand, and they don't want to. Adolf Hitler, the most notorious fascist of them all, rejected the term. If you asked him, "Are you fascist?" He would say, "No, I'm National Socialist." And then you say, "Well, what does that mean?" He couldn't tell you. He doesn't understand what socialism means. He doesn't understand what fascism means. He just uses these words as insults or something to embrace, but he doesn't know the meanings of the words. And so it's kind of hard to deal with these fascists these days because they're very good at avoiding um, the fascist label. But it's like if you take, say, if you went up to somebody and you said, "What? How are you politically?" And they said, "Well, I believe in that the working class needs to overthrow the bourgeoisie and the owners and establish a one-party state system in which the workers control the means of production." You'd be like, "Okay, yeah, that's communism." And they'd say, "No, I don't accept that term. I'm not a communist." It doesn't matter if you say you're not a communist. You kind of are a communist because you check off all the boxes on what communism is, and we can debate on whether the definition I just gave is accurate enough or not. But I mean, we all kind of know that's communism. It's been tried before, and the problem with these fascists is you do the same thing, and they just reject the term. They just say, "I'm not fascist. You're fascist." Okay, fascism. One of the major tenets to fascism is it preys on, it feeds on, and it gets its recruitment from the most uneducated, most unintelligent people in society because they agree with the leader. They agree that everything is the problem of these immigrants or something, and there's nothing you could do really to prove that they're fascist. And one of the scholars that I remember, he was saying that I don't remember the name, but he said defining fascism is like trying to nail jelly to a wall. I agree. It's very nebulous, and it's not so much a doctrine like communism where you have to learn about Karl Marx. It's more of a style of governance. It's more of a style of getting power and then maintaining that power. It's not like uh, it's not a doctrine. There is no stone tablets that you need to read and figure out. It's more of like how you do it. And Donald Trump is definitely fascist. And I'm not even going to say in my opinion because I don't think it's my opinion. I think it's just basic fact. He runs he's basically part of the MAGA movement. The MAGAs just all give him all their allegiance. They believe all his lies. They all submit to him, and you are the, you know, you're the greatest, and then he just blames everything on immigrants and minorities, which they believe because they're that that kind of stupid. Um, so he's not like really manipulating the people's thoughts. Like a lot of people think that that's what Hitler did, that he was manipulating his followers' thoughts, and no, he was one of them. He talked like him because he thought like them. Do you understand? He really believed that the Jews were causing all the problems, that they were plotting against him, and everything was. Donald Trump really believes that the 2020 election was stolen because of the Democrats, all those clever Democrats, and that thing that Umberto Eco talks about, where it's like your opponent is simultaneously too weak and too strong at the same time. It's self contradictory, but these people, they're too dumb to see the contradiction. Um, Anyways, so yeah, fascism is basically stupidity wrapped up as a political movement. And I hate it. I hate it, and that's why I'm running for president to hopefully put an end to it. I hope you join me. Please like and subscribe if you kind of into these rambling, over caffeinated rants. Um, yeah, talk to you later.